Okay, so it's 7 o'clock. I think we will get started. Welcome everyone. Welcome to people viewing on YouTube. Just work through our council agenda. This is a special council meeting for the 17th of August 2020. Firstly, I'd like to acknowledge the land that we meet on tonight is the traditional lands for the Kaurna people, and that we respect their spiritual relationship with their country. We also acknowledge the Kaurna people as the custodians of the Greater Adelaide region, and that their cultural and heritage beliefs are still as important to the living Kaurna people today. So firstly, roll call. We have one apology from Councillor Diane Fraser. We have Councillor Goldstone who's zooming in via Zoom. So welcome Councillor Goldstone remotely. And we have everyone else here. Are there any motions to grant leave of absence, councillors? There be none. I don't have any leave of absence, and there's no non-attendance. Public open forum. There is nobody in the gallery, so we'll keep moving. Are there any declarations of interest on the matter that we're going to be discussing tonight? There be none. Questions without notice? Motions without notice? Moving on to confidential reports. So for people who might be viewing, we are now up to confidential reports, which is item 7. And we have, and this is a, right, thanks Kate. Got the minutes up, or the agenda and minutes up. So those of you who are viewing should be able to see those minutes. And we will be discussing allegations arising from enterprise bargaining negotiations investigation update. We do have a officer's recommendation to go into confidence to enable us to have this discussion. Is there any elected member who wishes to move that way? Councillor Samble. You moved by do you wish to speak at all, Councillor Samble? Just turn your mic on if you can, Councillor Samble. Thank you.
No, I think it's important that we discuss this matter at this particular point in time, so to be able to sort of get the wheels rolling, so that we come up with a sort of good result at the end of it. But at this point, I think keep it in confidence.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Little, do you wish to speak? You're happy to second? Thank you. Any other discussion? Councillor Tooley.
Yes, Mayor, I'd like to speak against going into confidence. We deliberately decided not to keep our motion in confidence. The matter has been in the public domain, and we weathered the storm of people telling us that we should not discuss the motion, that the motion should be dismissed, that the motion should then be kept in confidence, and we decided that no, as elected members, we voted to make that public. So the staff, the community are aware that we're moving in that direction. Mr. Annett stated in the media that he would fully cooperate with the investigation. That's in public knowledge. That was stated in, I think, the Advertiser. The administration has used terms like allegations arising from enterprise bargaining negotiations as their term, but that's not a term we ever used. We used a different term when we moved our motion. We've never endorsed that term. It doesn't actually capture really what we're on about. Our motion says it was a motion regarding allegations of bullying and intimidation against the CEO, Henry Annett, towards Town of Gawler staff. That's the stated entrance point to our motion. As I said, the administration put forward a number of attempts to prevent us from making this public. As I said, quoting legal advice, we weathered that storm, we questioned that legal advice. It's also worth noting that in April 28, this chamber, and if you look at the reason quoted for going into confidence, it says this: the information, the disclosure of which would involve the unreasonable disclosure of information concerning the personal affairs of any person living or dead. Well, that's a lovely blanket cover, but we're not doing that tonight. We're not disclosing any of the personal affairs. If you look into the Act of what they define as personal affairs, it doesn't come under what we're doing. We're actually being transparent. And when it came to the matter of dealing with a discussion about behaviour and making public allegations about bullying, etc., against me, and invoking a motion which said, let's do an investigation, not once did anybody say, that's not proper to discuss that in public. We'll keep that in camera, live streamed. And there's been no rebuttal of that, no regret of that, despite my protests. And we talk about natural justice. So why are we, with our community watching us, with our community having full knowledge of this, why are we persisting to try to cover these things up in secret? Nothing that we're going to discuss tonight is not already in the public awareness. And our community is watching, and they have the right to know about the investigation details, the process that we're going to use, the scope, as do the staff. The staff have been waiting, wondering, left hanging. They don't know. They haven't had the decency of any updates or information. It's intolerable for them. So my view tonight, I would ask our members that are here tonight to vote to not keep this matter in confidence, but to actually be public, be open, and let our community see that we're taking this matter seriously and that we are going to discuss not things that are of a personal nature. We're dealing with a process. Thank you.
Yeah, I've got a couple of questions on this before I speak to it. The allegations are actually about the ASU survey, aren't they?
That's where they originated from.
Yes. That's all we're talking about, aren't we?
Well, we won't be having a discussion and answering.
I know, but it isn't.
Unless we go.
It isn't a wider
So
catch-all. It's actually just the allegations in the ASU. It's not a big catch-all, is it?
What I would suggest, Councillor Koch, is we deal with this confidential matter and then you ask your questions whether we're in confidence or out.
The other question is, how do we know that staff are waiting and it's intolerable for them? Because we're councillors, how do we know that? How can that statement be made? Oh, can Councillor Tooley answer that?
No, I won't be allowing an answer.
Because I
yeah.
actually thought...
I can't, I'm not, well, I'm actually not going to answer that quick because I don't think it's possible to answer that
Because I actually
question
thought councillors
truthfully.
aren't supposed to talk
Yeah,
to staff.
So I won't be
That's a
having
breach of the
I won't be
code, I would
having
have
a,
thought.
I won't be having a
Okay, that's fine.
a
Righto.
to and fro conversation, but
that's
I
okay.
do note your question.
Yep, I'll be supporting this. I think it is. I think it's important that we keep this in confidence because it actually is dealing with the personal matters for the CEO. So I'll be supporting this. Thank you.
Councillor Hughes and then Councillor Vallelonga.
Just a question first. There's been no official complaints about bullying harassment of our CEO that we've received with our existing policies and procedures. Is that correct?
I have, in relation to this matter, no, I have not received any. Now, Councillor Vallelonga, you had your hand up. If you could put your microphone on, thanks, Jim.
Sorry,
Thank you.
Mayor.
Yes.
The only confidentiality things I've got here is only about the railway,
Yep.
the electrification of the railway line. I've got nothing against at all Monday night about CEO,
You should have had 2 packets.
and that's for Tuesday night.
No, that's for tonight. You had 2 packets.
Yeah, I've got the
Sent.
2 packets, and one is
They're both now.
no, I've got the other one left at home. The 17. No, I don't have that one.
So the other packet, Jim,
No,
was
it's
for
not,
tonight.
no. It's the only one that came out of there.
Yeah.
I don't
Jim.
have that one.
Okay. So you did. You shared. Yeah. I can't help you. You haven't got your computer, so I can't link you into the hub. So, yeah.
Okay.
Do your best with. Thank you, Ian. Yeah. Sometimes this happens. Okay, no problem. Councillor Shanks.
Just a question. When we advanced with this process, was a memo sent out to all staff just saying, look, this is where we're at and we're going to, was staff notified, I guess, or the only thing that they would know is what they see in the media?
Well, I think, again, a bit like what I responded to Councillor Kosh, we might address your question once we've dealt with the confidentiality question. Once we've dealt with that, I'll ask you to ask your question again, because I think that's probably better within the debate rather than while we're determining whether we go into confidence. So if that's okay, a bit like Councillor Kosh, I think it's better once we've decided what we do with confidence. Do you wish to make any comment about the confidential motion?
Just that I think the question was very important, that if staff don't know the direction that we're in, I can't support this in confidence just because it is about the staff and about allegations made through a union survey. So I would like them to know what's going on. And if this is the only way they do know, then yeah, the deliberations, I don't see why they couldn't see what's happening, in my opinion.
Thank you, Councillor Shanks. So I'll just take note of those questions. Okay. Any other discussion? No. Councillor Samble, are you happy for me to put the motion?
I just can't believe what I just heard. This is about the staff. This is about a CEO that has been publicly humiliated in a bloody paper that did not speak the truth, had the ugliest photo of somebody that we are proud of as a CEO that's leading us through some really hard times. All I am moving this, and it's up to Councillor Little how he feels, but I cannot believe this is not only for the staff, it's for a very important member of our town council, the CEO as well, to be able to make sure that what has been done and through the media, it has not been done properly. It's been humiliating. So why I've asked for your support in this at this particular point in time to keep it in confidence so that we can go through this and then we can move into what this business is all about tonight to investigate that so that the CEO and the staff are all completely in the clear in our town. And we've got to move forward on this thing. It's been very humiliating, and certainly the biggest humiliation has been for the CEO. So I asked you to support this motion.
Thank you. The debate's closed. I now put the motion. All those in favour of the motion, please raise your hands. The motion is carried. Thank you. Councillor Tooley has called a division. All those in favour, please stand. Councillor Goldstone, if you keep your hand up if you wish to stand. 2 hands. Okay, thank you. And as I call your name out, please stay standing and then I'll call out the people against. So all those in favour are Councillor Davies, Councillor Koch, Councillor Little, Councillor Hughes, Councillor Samble, Councillor Goldstone. All those against are Councillor Vallelonga, Councillor Tooley and Councillor Shanks. The motion is carried. Thank you, everyone. You may take your seats. You can sit down now, Kelvin. That's all good. Thank you. Right, so we'll just... so the live stream